Okay, question of the year. Should you get the Haylou GT1, the Haylou GT1 Pro, or the Haylou GT2? I'll explain to you all the differences, tell you which one I personally prefer, and finally, I'll tell you which one might be the best for you. And I promise, this is gonna be a quick video. Let's go with the intro. Selamat pagi! Good morning everyone, Kenneth here, and today this is a long-awaited video. As usual, I would like to remind you to do click the thumbs up button, click the subscribe button, follow me on Instagram and Twitter, and if you are purchasing any of these, please do consider using the links in the down. Please do consider using the description. Ah man, I'm losing this. Please do consider using the affiliate links down below to help support the channel. It goes a long way. That's pretty much it. So let's go and compare the first and the most important question, the sound quality. Do they sound any different? And the answer is no. Okay, from now on, I'm gonna say this the original compared to GT1 Pro and GT2 to avoid confusion. I think in the full review, I have said that it supports AAC codec, but actually it uses SBC whether you're using Android or iPhones. I do think it sounds decent on that codec though, but the Haylou GT1 Pro, it does support real AAC codec, not the GT2 by the way. So this actually sounds a little bit better. It's just like when I compare it between all of these three, like switching quickly, repeating the same part of the song, I don't feel any difference at all. But if I'm listening to a whole song that I know by heart that it's gonna sound like this, I do feel that it has slightly more polish in the song compared to the other versions that are using SBC codec. So yeah, it's just a little bit more polished, a little bit more separated with each other. The instruments and all that has a slight improvement over the other versions, but mostly they all sound the same. They have the same driver. It's still balanced but has a little bit of bass boost compared to the QCYT1. I think this is a sound that still most people can accept it. This is a really decent sounding earbuds for the price. That's it very quickly, sound quality. Let's go run through the next part, build quality, right? So on build quality, I think it's good to start talking about the original first because many people complain, you know, it doesn't feel as premium, especially compared to the QCY-QS2. That is an objectively better build case. But in my opinion, this is still a very functional case, does the job really fine. And you know, the matte finish, it has some use marks here already because I've been using it, tossing it in my bag, tossing it in my pocket full of keys. They still hold up fine until now. I've been using this for, I don't know, half a year now. It's still a really functional case, even though it does not feel that way. The lid wobbles a little bit, but that's totally fine. Talking about that, the QCY, oh sorry. And so going with the Haylou GT1 Pro didn't really improve on the build quality much. You know, maybe it's slightly less wobbly in the lid here, but it does still feel the same. It's plastic, it's matte finish. It's just a bigger case overall. But here you get the selling point of the Haylou GT1, which is the battery indicator on the front. When you're opening it like this, it does show up. Some earbuds, you need to take out the earbuds itself before the battery indicator starts to show. But here, you just open it up or close it, and that way you can already see how much the battery is inside the case. So the original is really small. This is really pocketable. But here on the GT1 Pro, you kind of enlarge it 2 times in every way possible so that it'll be this big. This is a little bit big for my liking. But with that, you get a battery upgrade that is 800 milliamp hour. Yeah, aside from that, everything still looks the same. Compared to the Haylou GT2, this is a very different type of earbuds now. This has no lid at all. It has a built-in cable at the back here. So that's so nice. You don't have to plug in any micro USB cable again. Just don't break this cable. It's just an overall a very nice case. I like this so much. That's why the QCY-QS1 or the QCY-T1 was my favorite earbuds before I got the Haylou. You know why I like the no lid earbuds? Because I can take it with one hand just like that. I don't need to open it up with my other hand, take it carefully and afraid for it to fall or anything like that. But it does take some time to get used to. I can do this really like well nowadays. Let's say I'm gonna take the left side and I'll just take it just like that. Although I do find the arrangement of the earbuds is slightly more finicky to take. The shape, it's not perpendicular, but it's a little bit tilted. So you have to know that when taking the earbuds out, this is kind of shaping, pointing upwards just like this. You can take it, this is the right side, this is the left side. It's the right way basically. If it's pointing downwards, it's like a V, not like a inverted V, then you gotta twist it to the right place. All of these three, actually I should exclude this because it uses a USB-A port. The original and the GT1 Pro uses the micro USB port, so there is no USB Type-C here. On the Haylou GT1 they do have a small LED beside the charging port to let you know that it's charging and it's finished charging. On the GT1 Pro it shows up and the battery indicator on the front. On the Haylou GT2 it does have a small LED somewhere in this side or this side, I forgot it, but it's just you cannot see it in plain sight like this, but it does light up red when it's charging. And by the way, it's nice to mention that the USB cable included, it's orientation independent, so you can plug it in this way or this way. Either way, it doesn't matter much. It's a really nice design actually. I like it. I'm liking this design. Moving on to the next section is the controls. The original had a touch control that is pretty responsive, and also it doesn't have that big of a touch area so that you don't accidentally touch it really often, which is a really good thing. Haylou GT1 Pro is exactly the same thing as the Haylou GT1, but on the other hand, the Haylou GT2 uses a physical button to control. The control scheme is the same. Play on pause on one tap, next song on double tap on the right, previous song on double tap on the left, and triple tap triggers voice assistant. Finally, the last thing that I'm gonna talk about is the battery life of the earbuds itself. I've briefly talked about how the battery is improved on the GT1 Pro compared to the original. So, this lasts for more than a week of the case itself. On the Haylou GT1 and the GT2, they are pretty much the same. About 3 to 5 days, maybe if you don't use it too much, you can stretch it up to 1 week, but that's about it for these two earbuds. And listening to music in all three of these earbuds results in pretty much the same time, 4.5 hours at 50% volume. Less than that if you're listening at 70-80%, and if you're listening to 100%, you probably get 3.5 hours and something like that. And by the way, these are not too loud, so don't expect this to go as loud as your wired earphones. So yeah, just pointing it out there. And anyway, if there is anything that I haven't covered in this comparison, make sure to check out my original Haylou GT1 review video because it's the same and I don't feel the need to, reiterate them here. I just want to mention some couple things, the frequently asked questions. First, the touch control of these things, they are not triggered by any of the, like garments, pillows, or your hand, something like that. So you are fine. You can bring this to sleep, although they don't feel the most comfortable when you are lying onto a pillow just like this. And also the fit of these earbuds, they are good. You can go and bring them to run, but make sure that you don't open your mouth out too wide or raise up your eyebrows just like that, because that will push the earbuds a little bit outwards and your music will be gone for that moment. But when you get back to your normal face, the music just starts playing again just fine. It's like some minor thing. And lastly, through my use of the Haylou GT1 Pro and the GT2, I have yet to discover any severe connection issues or something like that. Probably they are improved for the Haylou GT1, I'm not sure, but they do perform as good or even better as the Haylou GT1, so that's always a good thing, right? Last but not least, the microphones on these earbuds, they are not the best. So I would not recommend this if you are making a long phone call session. So yeah, make sure you know that. Now let's just do the latency test and then you will hear the call test yourself, and after that we will conclude the video. is a huge price gap between the Sabbath and the Haylou GT1. So what the
Okay, so let's start the cold test. This is indoors and I'm wearing the Haylou GT1 original, and I know that the main earbuds is on the right side, so I'm gonna tap it and this is gonna be the main earbuds. You cannot hear anything right here if I tap on the left side. Right now I'm indoors. I have the AC on. I don't know if that will affect the call in any way, but now let's switch to the second one, the Haylou GT1 Pro. Alright, so now we are on the Haylou GT1 Pro. It doesn't look any different, but believe me, I did change it to Haylou GT1 Pro, and I'm gonna tap it on the right side right now. I believe it should use the same mic when you're using both earbuds. It should use the right side while not using on the left side, so you cannot hear anything just now. This is the quality of indoor calls with the Haylou GT1 Pro, and I'm gonna do it with the Haylou GT2. Let's switch to it right now. Okay, this is the Haylou GT2. Now you can see a little bit of difference because of this physical button. Is what the Haylou GT2 looks like, and this is how it sounds like indoors under the same condition as what you hear just now. I'm gonna tap the right side. The mic should be right there, and this is not supposed to work when you're using both earbuds. Now let's go outdoors and we'll see the call quality outside. It's really quite chilly outside here. I'm using the Haylou GT2 because I don't want to bother, switching between all the other earbuds. And right now I'm walking on the street, and this is a relatively quiet street, by the way, and I'm talking at a decent volume as usually I would talk. It's a relatively quiet outdoor place. This is how it sounds like Haylou GT2. We're gonna switch to the Haylou GT1 Pro right now. Okay, I believe this is the Haylou GT1 because I completely forgot that the GT1 Pro and the original looks exactly the same, and there are no use marks on my original GT1. So I hope this is the right earbuds, and I'm using sandals because why not? It's 9 degrees outside. But yeah, this is the sound quality of the Haylou GT1 Pro. See if it's any different compared to the Haylou GT2, and we're gonna switch to the Haylou GT1 right now. Okay, so yeah, it's getting really, really cold. I'm using the Haylou GT1 right now. Is it exactly the same? Now we have a little bit of wind here, but it's still, I don't think this wind should affect the mic call quality in any way because it's just a very, very small wind. But yeah, this is, oh, by the way, a car just passed by, and see if you can hear that, see if my voice degrades. This is what it sounds like on the Haylou GT1 original, and this doesn't sound the best. It sounds mediocre at best for phone calls. Definitely not gonna cut it if you're gonna do a whole full meeting with these earbuds. I don't think you should use these. Okay, so yeah, it's getting very, very cold. My hands are very cold. Let's go upstairs and we will conclude the video quickly.
So that is pretty much it for the video. I hope it helped. In my personal preference, I would prefer actually the Haylou GT2. Moving on from the QCY-T1, now Haylou has such a similar device but in a better design that I like even more. After that, probably the second runner is Haylou GT1 original because I just love how small it is, and the third place could be the Haylou GT1 Pro because basically it's just large in my opinion, but this is gonna be the best option if you don't mind the bigger size difference. It is one of the most polished experience compared to these three. So if you are looking to buy which Haylou do you want, go take a look at the Haylou GT1 Pro. Probably you will like it, and if you don't like the touch control, go check out the Haylou GT2. So yeah, that is it. Thank you very much for watching. Once again, I am Kenneth and I'm pleased to be able to help you in this video once again. I will see you in the next one.
Oh my god, okay. Wind is blowing, wind is blowing. It's just blowing it up, freezing. Where's my key?